Hi, my name is Kayla. I am just starting off YouTube here, and I wanted to do the All About Eyeshadow Palette Tag. So if you would like to see my answers to the questions, just keep on watching. Thank you. The first question is all-time favorite palette. And my all-time favorite palette is the Blend Bunny Lure palette. I love color, and if you are a color fan, you will love this palette. You've got a beautiful row of shimmers up top. You have the dark to light in each column as it goes down. You have a column of neutrals if you want to keep a neutral look. And the shimmers are foiled. They look wet on the eyes. The mattes blend beautifully. This is just a very beginner friendly palette for anybody that likes these jewel tones. And I have to say my favorite palette has got to be Blend Bunny, the Lure palette. My new favorite palette that I just have got recently, and we'll give this to, is Gourmand Girls Trapped palette. I love a good green color story. I love these tones. You have got a beautiful rich bronze right here. This almost mixed shade. It looks purple when it comes off on the eyes a little bit. You've got a beautiful like multi-tone here. If you like greens, you're gonna love this palette. You can get dark to light, all kinds of looks with it. The shimmers, again, they come off very foiled and wet looking. The mattes, I have no issue with layering on top of them. I love this palette, so this would have to be my new favorite palette. Palette that I keep for the memories. I watched this show all the time as a kid, and I am talking about the Peanuts. I bought this when this came out. This was in a collab with Wet n Wild. I love Wet n Wild formula. They do keep it very affordable. The shimmers are very nice. The mattes are very nice. But I don't really reach for this palette. It's not that it's bad. It is an okay palette. I do have some looks that I can do out of here that I like. It's just not one that I go for a lot in my collection. But it is a nice palette. You do have some golds. You have the blue, the green, the red, Christmas colors. It was a Christmas launch. But for me, I just keep it more so for the memories. Underrated. This was a brand that I got in a ice cream beauty box. It's a subscription makeup box. And I'm talking about the Lonely Scarecrow palette by Poppy and Fluff. If you like fall, this is fall in a palette. You have some beautiful tones here. You have this nice red down here and this green. You have another green. You have some neutrals here and in this area. If you like fall, this is fall in a palette. It is perfect. It is beautiful. I don't hear a lot of people talk about this brand as much, but Poppy and Fluff, these layered beautifully. They didn't crease, they stayed all day. They are definitely my favorite, and I feel like they are an underrated brand in general, but especially this palette, the Lonely Scarecrow, is underrated, and more people need to know this brand and try this brand because it is really, really good. Not a fan, but I can't get rid of. And this is sad to say because I love this show too as a kid, but I'm talking about the ColourPop The Muppets palette. I can't remember if this was a Christmas launch. It's been out for years and I don't even think you can get this one anymore. But I initially liked the color story. I thought it was cute. It was very holiday-ish. The problem that I have with this is I feel like these shades almost acted kind of hard panned. I couldn't get a lot of color payoff with them. The looks that I did do, I feel like they creased pretty quickly throughout the day. I was not a fan of this palette at all, but I can't get rid of it. It's near and dear, makes me think of childhood, but the ColourPop Muppets, I have to say, can't get rid of, but not a fan. favorite collab palette. I love this show, and I still watch the show, admittedly, as an adult, but I would have to say the Scooby-Doo Glam Light. Now, this palette, it has a little bit of the lenticular design. It's a bulky palette. It's huge, but the colors inside of it, sorry, not trying to blind you with the mirror, but the colors inside of it, his row is supposed to each represent a character of Scooby-Doo. So you've got Scooby, Shaggy, Daphne, Velma, and Fred. The shimmers in here are pretty. The mattes are pretty. I don't have an issue with blendability, with creasing, or anything like that. I just feel like they kind of have a lot of wasted space. I would like for this palette to be a little bit more condensed, but in general, the formula I like, and I have a soft spot for Scooby-Doo with anything. So I would have to say my favorite collab palette, again, would be the Scooby-Doo by Glamlight. And this I do not think is available anymore. And this was round 2, because they did do a round 1, but that would be round 2. My favorite 2024 palette, I would have to say, is Glamlight. They did a Coca-Cola. They did original Coca-Cola and a cherry Coca-Cola collab, and this is the regular. You do get a mirror on here, and then you get a row of mattes and a row of shimmers. If you like neutrals, again, it does lend itself to being able to do a neutral look, or you can take some color over here and pop one of those in as well. The shimmers are nice, the mattes are nice. I never had any issue with it creasing or fading throughout the day. My looks were perfectly fine. So I would have to say that this would be my favorite 2024 palette that I have. Didn't expect to love. I love this movie or series in general, but I didn't know how I felt about the color story originally. And I'm talking about the Glamlight Lord of the Rings collab. When you do get a full-size mirror, and then when I'm thinking of Lord of the Rings, I don't know if I really see these tones reflecting that movie. It is pretty. I don't have an issue with color payoff or anything like that, but I don't know how I felt at first. However, using it, I do kind of see where I can get some of these looks to look Middle-earthy. You've got some grunge, some neutrals, and then you've got these light shimmers. So the more I played with this palette, the more I started actually really getting into it. And I like that I can keep something whimsical with these light tones here, or I can go very deep with this nice emerald green or this bronze. You can get really light looks with this row. You can get some dark looks with this row. Again, the more I played with it, the more I really got into liking this palette, and I really do love this palette now. So I would have to say a palette that I wasn't sure of, but now I'm a fan, is definitely Glamlight Lord of the Rings. A palette that sparks joy, and sadly you can't get this palette anymore. It was a, I want to say Halloween drop, limited edition. But I'm talking about Beauty Bay Dark Fantasy. I love Halloween. Halloween is my holiday. I love it. And this palette is no exception to Halloween. You've got beautiful greens. You've got your nice blues. You've got some good silvers. All of this is Halloween. And anytime Halloween comes around or fall, I bust this palette out. Excuse me. The shimmers are nice and wet, and the mattes are foiled. I love the looks that I can get. I can still do something very vibrant with these greens, but I can also go really deep with this burgundy, these blues, these purples make a very pretty look. This palette, anytime I wear this, I love the looks I create, and it definitely brings me the most joy from my collection. So I would give that to Beauty Bay Dark Fantasy. Newest in my collection, now I bought these two palettes around the same time, so I am including them both. I am talking about Nomad Ghost Town. This has a lenticular design as well, and it changes. This is a palette that's been around for quite a few years, but I just never got to it. But I love it. I like how you've got some neutral on this side, and then you've got some color and grunge on this side. This was a palette that I had been eyeing for a long time, and I finally got around to it. I just love Nomad's formula. The shimmers are very nice. The mattes blend out very nicely. They layer on top of each other very, very well. And I never feel disappointed when I see a Nomad color story. The quality of Nomad, one of my favorites as well. I do have a code with Nomad. It is non-affiliated, meaning I will not earn any money off the purchase. But if you do want to use my code, it is Kayla10, and that will save you 10%. Again, it's non-affiliated. Don't feel like you have to use my code, but if you have been eyeing something from Nomad, it is there to save you guys some money. So if you want to, go for it, feel free. If not, it's okay, no obligation, guys. But that is Ghost Town from Nomad. And then at the same time, I did buy the Chamonix Apritsky palette from them as well. And this palette screams winter to me. It's got your greens, your pinks. It's a little bit more on the pastel, but where it still gives you payoff. It's not too light where you're not going to see anything. So for me, I like that you have some pinks, but if you're not a pink girl, you have some greens, you have some blues. You have a little bit of variety with this palette. So again, this was another pretty palette that I picked up from Nomad. I'm glad I did. The payoff is beautiful. My favorite shade is definitely this green. It is kind of a little bit more of a toppery, but it is gorgeous. So these two are, again, the newest in my collection at the moment. First palette used in 2025, Beauty Bay, the neutrals. There was a time when I'm done with color, I'll do neutral looks for a few days, and I would wear the crap out of this palette all the time. It has nice light tones, middle tones, and deep tones. The shimmers are foiled. This was always my favorite shade. I would cut the crease and then top this on. You've got some nice golds. You could go light or you could go dark with this neutral palette. It was perfect for that. And this is still a palette that I have in rotation a lot, and I still use it a lot. So I would have to say my favorite and first use palette in 2025 that I recall is the Beauty Bay Neutrals. The next question was, if you could change a collab, what would it be? Or choose a collab, what would it be? Excuse me. If I could choose a collab, now this is just something that I would do. It's silly, it's different, it's unique. If I could choose one, I would want to see somebody do a Courage the Cowardly Dog collab. A palette, maybe, even a lip gloss, something like that. For those of you who don't know, it was an old cartoon. But I think it would be really fun. I would totally think it would be nostalgia, so you could do like some purples, maybe some blues in a palette. I would just really like to see a Courage the Cowardly Dog collab, if I could choose one. The next question, if I could redo a palette, what would it be? I would probably redo this one a little bit. This is the ColourPop How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's not a bad palette. The problem that I have with this palette is it is predominantly a very pink palette, and personally I don't wear a lot of pinks. That might be your thing. If it is, you know, it's perfectly fine. It's just, I feel like almost too pink heavy. You do have one green shimmer and another one down here, and this is like a red shimmer, but the most of this palette ends up being a berry or pink tone look, and I feel like you're kind of restricted in some of the looks you make out of this palette. Other than that, they do perform. It is the palette that I'm wearing on my eyes today, so I do like the looks I can create, but it's just something that I would probably pop out one of these pinks for, maybe a deeper plum, maybe a purple, maybe a gold even. Just, to kind of take out some of the berry and the pink tones in this palette. So that would have to be the ColourPop, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And then the last question, guys, is the first palette you would pick to travel with. And I would pick this palette because it's got a little bit of everything. And I'm talking about another palette by Blend Bunny. It is the Beauty Below palette. The reason why I like this palette a lot is because you do have a range. You can do some colors, you can do some more of the neutral tones, you've got lights, you've got darks. You can do a variety of looks with this. So I feel like if I wanted to travel or if I go anywhere, I'm grabbing this palette because I can do something purpley, maybe I can do something deeper green. If I want to do even a little bit of color, you've got these bright pink, and each of these can be like their own quad, how they space out. So you could do a variety. This palette could do many, many looks, and that's what I do like about this palette. This would be the one that I would pick to travel with. Would be Blend Bunny. Again, it is Beauty Below, and I do believe that this one is still being sold. I don't know if it's in stock right now, but I think you can still get this one, and the Lure one I believe as well. So that is my answers to these All About Eyeshadow Palette Tag. Again, if you did stick around to watch this whole video, thank you. I appreciate you. Sorry about that, everyone. My cat jumped in front of me. But I was saying, if you did stick around and watch the whole video, thank you. If you like my channel, please subscribe. If you have any other things you want me to do on my channel, like eyeshadow collection, different looks with palettes, I will be trying to grow my channel as a makeup predominant channel. So if you want to come along with me on my journey, subscribe, like my video, shoot me down some comments, and I will get back to them as soon as I can. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.